And in fact, male behavior is kind of like, not all male behavior, but toxic male behavior is what created the oppression in our world. So there's this way of us seeing negative, toxic masculinity as strong and powerful. So I think there is so when we're talking about female liberation and we're imitating toxic male behavior, that's not liberating. It's patriarchal. So we're becoming female patriarchs, right? So I think that patriarchy is very complicated. So I'm a woman, and I'm a victim of patriarchy. But I'm also the oppressor, because patriarchy could help from me in other ways, right? So I'm an Asian American woman. I'm a woman of color, yes. But in America, I'm still a quote-unquote model minority, and I could still be very oppressive to Black and Latina women. And if I do that in that moment, I'm behaving as the patriarch, right? I am an educated middle-class woman. So I can behave very patriarchal to an uneducated, even male, or an uneducated or poor male. So I think there's many different factions of it.
Okay,
so if we just take
playing
toxic
devil's
masculinity
advocate,
and wait, let me get that. So if I'm just imitating toxic masculinity, I'm not liberated. I'm even more. I'm oppressing myself in that system of patriarchy. So I feel like that's why I think it's dangerous. If you want to be crude, whatever, I totally respect that. Be yourself. But to create this, like there's this movie that was coming out, Wall Street, like, oh, the feminists think of Wall Street, where these women got into Wall Street. Wall Street is the devil. I do not feel liberated by that. If I wanted to work in Wall Street, I have a right to do it. But creating a woman getting into Wall Street, was it hard for them? Yes. But is it does Wall Street politics and economics oppress women? Yes.
It kind of reminds me of Kellyanne Conway and her success. I have a Republican coworker who always brings up like the feminist hypocrisy of like, how come we don't celebrate Kellyanne Conway? She was like the first
because
person to help someone win a campaign.
Because of the job she's doing. That's why.
Yeah,
and she's oppressive to other women.
Exactly. She's oppressive. We don't want that.
Right. All right. Now, let me ask you a question here, and we do have to wrap it up because it's almost that time. But speaking from the knowledge that, yes, men get paid more than women, we are at the top of the food chain. So I understand all that. I know all that. But, and this is where I'm playing devil's advocate from what you were just saying, Raja, isn't it a little bit hypocritical for you, and I understand what you're saying, and I'm certainly not meaning to take anything away from that. But when you say that you can be patriarchal to Black women and Latinas, why are men getting the blame for you behaving like an asshole? It's like,
well, I'm not blaming men. I'm blaming the
I know,
patriarchy.
But I'm saying that's what I'm saying is why is that patriarchy instead of just Raja being a dick? Because
the reason why it's patriarchy is because patriarchy doesn't mean men are dicks, right? It's a system that puts straight white male cis and able and rich on top. So the reason why I'm being oppressive or can get away with it is because there's a system that allows me to it. So I'm leaning in and using the system for an unearned privilege, and that system is called patriarchy. So I'm behaving patriarchally. So it's not to say I'm behaving like a man. I'm taking advantage of the system.
It's kind of like nodding side to side.
And I think it's really important for me to know that, right? Because I could say, in life, majority of us, we're living as a combination of the oppressed and the oppressor. So I could live my life saying, I am the oppressed, which I am. I know, like, when I saw Kathy Griffin acting like a victim because she was holding up that head, imagine I did that, I'd be in I would never even fathom doing that, because I don't have the privilege to do it. So I know who I am. I know I'm a woman of color. I have no delusions of where I stand in this world. But at the same time, I could say, the system is against me, I'm the victim, but I have to also recognize the system's also for me in different intersections, right? Intersectional feminism. So that's why I embrace that. So there are intersections that give me power. So I have to be aware of what the system is. It's much more complex. I have class privilege. I'm a lighter skinned person of color. There's a lot of, even amongst women of color, I have curly hair, but it's a little fine. I have lighter skin. It gives me a lot of privilege. White people find me attractive. That gives me privilege, unearned privilege. It doesn't mean I'm attractive. It just means I have maybe whiter, friendlier features, I have to be aware of all the different ways the system gives me advantage as well.
There's definitely a spectrum, and we all fall somewhere on it and benefit from it and also
I'm
suffer
a combination.
for it. Whoa, things are nuanced.
Of oppressed and oppression.
And sometimes we can all be dicks? No way.
I mean, all human beings can be dicks, right? All human beings probably are dicks. But because of the system I live in, there are some ways that I can be a dick and will never get away with it, and there are some ways that I can be a dick and will get away with it. And the reality is there's power structures that will let some people get away with that behavior and others not. And I have to be aware of that.
That's a good point, and a great note on which to wrap up the show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you like the show, please tell everybody. We are now on iTunes, which is where you may be listening to us. So spread the word. If you didn't like it, well, keep it to yourself.
Shut up. Keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, that's your opinion. Nobody cares. So wrapping up the show, I want to thank our panelist, Raja Michael.
You're welcome.
Raja, anything you want to plug for the coming week?
Oh my God, I have nothing going on in my life. No, I'm kidding, guys. I co-produce a show at the Nerdist School with two other comedians, Charity Miller and Erica Wusu. It's called Headscarves and Do-Rags, socially and politically progressive POC-focused show. We have our queer and trans people of color night this month. It's the last Friday of the month at 10 p.m. $5 cash at the door, the Nerdist School stage. Also, I am going to go back to professional live streaming. I'm starting a new job with Live Me, and my premiere will be 7:30 Pacific time so get the app Live Me, and my channel is Raja Michael.
Right on. Thank you very much. And also want to thank Kat Alvarado for coming in. Anything you'd like to plug for the week?
Well, so you can follow me at the Kat Alvarado on Instagram and Twitter, or Facebook.com/Kat Alvarado Comedy, right? For just following me in general. As far as shows go, though, you can see me doing real cool long-form improv with my team on Saturday nights at IO West, 10 p.m. at the DCT with Dollop a Wet Can. It's all kinds of wacky nonsense. I have no idea what's going on most of the time, and neither will you, but it'll be fun, I promise.
And pretty soon she'll be starting a long-form improv erotic.
I don't know how erotic it'll be, but a long-form improv podcast. It'll be weird and it'll be wacky. And so that'll be coming soon. And other than that, follow me, and you can find out about when I have stand-up shows as well. So.
There you go. And I am Dr. David Robinson. I will be hosting a show next week, Jake Dill Live at the Lyric Hyperion. That's happening next Saturday. Jake Dill, who is a hilarious comedian and a DJ here in LA on Alt 98.7, is going to be doing an hour-long set. All proceeds from the show are going to a local animal rescue. So we are rescuing local animals, but we are thinking of global animals. And on that note, it has been another episode of Let's Be Treasonable. We will be back next week. Hopefully you will too. Until then, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.